we're kind of cruising right along. I got a little, my measuring system's a little, I don't know if you'd call it redneck or whatever, but I just basically took the measurement off that stake. I mean, it wants to go 14 feet that way for the 10-foot road and 4 off there, and then like 4 feet over here, but I'm not very good at cutting or painting like a radius or whatever that this needs to be, so that just kind of gives me an idea on what to kind of muck out, and then we can always widen, or I'm gonna kind of over dig it, so when they put the clay in, or we put the clay in, they'll come back and repin where the actual track is gonna go. But I need to, I don't know, set stakes or do something that's a little better, but I just kind of mark out a line over a few sections and scrape that out. So I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'll come up with a better system or pull measurements off of. It's kind of hard with all this stuff behind me to quite visualize what it needs, so painting the line's working for me. It'll just be easier to work over here in the morning and walk around when everything's frozen again. But as you can tell, I mean, it's like, it's mud on top, but you dig that junk out, we're starting to get into a little clay, it's dry. It's like this ground has just been saturated for so long, and then it won't let it seep through the clay. I am definitely liking the 2150. I'm gonna have to get one of these. Maybe 2 years or longer. But yeah, this would definitely be a nice machine to own right here. I just keep thinking of all the jobs that I've already done, like the detention pond in the basement, and I don't know, there's just so many of them that you could actually still do with this machine. It's not too big, really. And now that I can haul it myself, that's even more of a plus. I'd probably have to outfit it with the work brow stuff. I'm kind of partial to them. Kind of trying to sort out, like, that's what I'm calling my decent dirt. This is kind of the clay and the junk. That's another pile of dirt. I'm taking off my kind of an average of about a foot maybe. Paint marks because I drove over. That's the bad part about it. I ought to just over dig it like by a bucket width, but we kind of have a budget of clay to work with, so I'm just trying to hang, I don't know, a tooth or two over. I may come back and cut where the actual track is going to go another 8 inches or a foot down, because parts of it are feeling a little bit soft, but they don't want to dig this road. The access road is deep, so I'm going to cut everything down to that depth, and then I guess I may come back and, or as I go, I'll just keep digging down that spot. Should be fun trying to pick and load this stuff back up. I was gonna set it all out over here, but then they're still doing work on the building, so I thought, well, we'll just put it inside because no one won't be in anybody's way there. It'll just be a pain for ourselves to get, but I don't know. It should work with. Once we get the clay road in here, run the on-road trucks in here, and just take the excavator and run along and scoop it up. I won't get every bit of it, but then I can go back in there with the loader and either get the rest of it or just dress it up in there.
bucket showed up, which does look significantly bigger than the 36. And it's not full of mud, so I lucked out on that one. I'll have to shovel it out. So hopefully this will, I don't know, speed things up a little bit. It looks like it's a better fit on this machine anyway.
And yeah, the windshield is disgusting. I forgot my windshield cleaner again today, but it's like 27 now. 62 yesterday. I got here this morning, it was 58, and now it's 27, so. Nice and cold, which it's supposed to get down to like 9 on Saturday, which is really cold here. See, it's like making a lot of noise. I had a bunch of real like sandy clay. Like it's weird. I got better clay here than it's soft on this side, and then it'll flip-flop over. But it's just a complete mess right here. As I dig, the machine just sinks. Come out. Alright. Yeah, it's just... We got this fatty clay and stuff like that, and it just won't let it kind of penetrate down through there, the water. So then it just saturates all this dirt and topsoil and junk. Lovely. Shoveling tracks this evening, so yeah, it's a mess. We're going to use more clay than what we originally planned, I think. So yeah, I was kind of part of it. They knocked all the stakes out for the track through here when they dozed it out. Let's see, I pushed that one down, but that's supposed to be the middle of the track. He was wanting to try to go 4 feet on that side. 4 feet on that side for the track, and then another 10 feet. It's 18 feet total. I'm trying to over dig it a little bit because I don't think 8 feet for that base on that track. I want it wider. It just seems like it'd be more stable. So I'm kind of over digging it by a foot or so. And then a little bit over here. I mean, like I said, I got a little carried away with it up there. But I think this track, instead of coming completely straight, I think it kind of curves in a little bit, and then we're going to curve around there. So, but I had that stake and the one like 300 some odd feet up, and I guess if I would have been thinking, I would have came through here and pulled strings off every one of these and drove T-posts. But you guys know me well enough by now. I pretty much just wing about everything I do, it seems like, because I can run the machines, but I don't have enough experience with trying to stake everything out. So usually I just eyeball and kind of go with it on stuff. And he wants to keep as many trees as possible, so I'm like running out of room to dump this stuff. I wish we would have got a haul truck. But see, like, well, you can get the cameras down there enough. But see, that's kind of like a sandy, I guess it'd be like kind of like a sandy clay. It's kind of weird. Kind of got a yellow and tan color to it, but just more of like a sand texture. And I mean, it's still like, some machine's still sinking down some. It hardens up a little ways down there, but then it finally gets kind of a reddish orange down, which is what we're looking for, and that's what's kind of all up there. And if it wasn't cold, rainy, we got a little more sun and wind, it would probably dry out. Ooh, yeah. It'd be all right, but it's just so saturated down here that it's really soft. So I'm hoping we can kind of bridge over the top with some good red clay. This bucket ought to help out quite a bit, really. I mean, I guess an extra 6 inches couldn't have hurt, huh? See, this side over here, it's like it goes back and forth on what the softer side is. And part of it, they came through here and ripped out a bunch of trees. So then they tried to fill it in. So then all those areas where there was a stump, it gets down, I don't know, a little harder. Shoot. It's working good. So yeah, that's where we're at here. I didn't get a video last night because it got dark on me again, of course. Tonight we'll try out my new fuel tank. I don't think I filmed. We just got that all wired up last night, so I got a Do Easy, or however you say it, 92 gallon. It's like an L-shaped fuel tank, but it's got a toolbox that sits on top of the L shape, so it just looks like one giant toolbox or square. And then I put a, what is it, a GPI 15 gallon per minute pump. I don't know a lot about it. I'm guessing somebody out here probably will, so. I got it like at a Tractor Supply. It's not actually Tractor, it's called Race Brothers, but it's like a Tractor Supply store here locally. It's an aluminum tank. Steel's a lot cheaper, but I don't want it coming, you know, rusted or coming apart. These things are a little finicky when you clog the fuel filters. I've ran this thing for, I don't know, a little over 2 days. And it's just now at half the tank. Which it does get good mileage, but it's also got like a 74 gallon tank, so those quarters are still quite a bit. And I may have already said or whatever, but I know I could probably use a bigger machine on this job. Probably a little small, but this is about the biggest machine. I think I can haul a 160, but they didn't have one available. I've got a couple of other jobs that aren't real big that I want to use this on, so the reason that's the biggest reason I got this one is I can haul it around without having to have a low boy. So I got it for a month. I planned on trying to do this and then go knock those other couple ones out, because this will be more than enough machine on these other ones. It's just a little, I mean, it's not like it's actually small here. It's just, I maybe could have got, like I said, like a 160 or even like a 220 or 250. I would just had to have a low boy bring it in. It could have maybe gained another foot or so on the bucket, but that's my reason in there. It wasn't just, I wasn't only planning on using it on this job. If that was the case, I would have got a bigger machine, because it'd be fun to run an even bigger machine. Yeah, I don't know why. It seems like the machine's sinking and it's super muddy. When those guys came through here and stripped the grass off with the dozer and took the trees out, it's just a mess. The good news is that last like 20 feet, I actually hit rock, like rocky, hard clay and stuff like that. So the ground's actually solid. It's probably that way up there. It's just that it's so much higher. I'd probably have to dig down another foot or two to hit that, which we may end up doing, because some of that is a little bit sandy back behind there. But I'll kind of get with him and see. Like I said, I know he's not going to want to go way over his clay, but he may have to.